So exclusive boots on the ground information is coming out of Florida. I have exclusive intel. I have a ton of family down there in Florida that are right in the middle of this, okay, guys? This is getting really bad. This is getting huge. This is almost a Category 5 storm, all right? This is massive. I think it's one of the biggest ones since around 2004 that is hitting this area, all right? So this is massive. This is huge. And people are really getting ready down there, all right? So my family has their windows boarded up. They have the generators ready to go, all right? This is serious. This is, if you live in a frame house and you are in a flood zone, you need to get out now, all right? You need to get out right now. They are getting text alert messages saying, you know, potential historic flooding, all right? I even still got one because my number is still from Florida. So I even got a text saying, you know, historic flooding is coming, all right? So this is a microcosm. We were talking about it the other day, but this is a microcosm of what could happen in any situation, all right? Any kind of prepping situation, and it hits people. They're not ready, and a lot of people are just like have no preps right now. They have no water, they have no food, because once an emergency was declared in Florida, everyone panicked and went and got all their supplies, all right? And it didn't take long for it to run out. This could happen in anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country. The supplies could be gone like that in 24, 48 hours, okay? What if the president comes out tomorrow and declares an emergency saying, you know, this crisis has become too serious, you know, overseas, this conflict is too serious, the threats are too serious, we need to lock down. There's a serious threat that could hit us at any moment, you know what I mean? It would be instant. The shelves would be gone. You better be going to the store right now to get your last preps, because it would be over. Do you remember a couple years ago when all this stuff happened, all right? And they declared an emergency right when it happened, and it was only like 2 weeks, okay? It was chaos. Everything was gone. And I even had a normalcy bias. I was like, it's only gonna be 2 weeks. Like, this stuff will be back soon. Like, these water bottles will be back soon. This toilet paper will be back soon. This food that's missing, it'll be back soon. It's only 2 weeks. It's just a little blip, you know, you thought it was like a hurricane or something. And then it just kept going and going and going, all right? We never know when the big one is gonna hit. But if you're not getting ready in Florida, my family members are getting constant text alerts saying to prepare. They are in the Tampa Bay area, so their power is not out yet, but they said that it's starting to get nasty, it's starting to storm, it's starting to rain, it's starting to feel it, all right? And this is on the edge of being a Category 5 hurricane, the top level that you can get, right? So this is very dangerous, very deadly. They were already saying that this will be the costliest hurricane in the nation's history, all right? And they said that this could also change the power grid in Florida forever, because they were saying normally they focus mostly on repairs, but they think this time they're gonna have to be focused on replacing, rebuilding, okay? It's not just gonna be patchwork. They're warning that the power could be out for weeks, all right? Weeks in a lot of areas. And I remember when I was younger, there was a whole string of hurricanes that really smacked, all right, in the mid-2000s, all right? And the power was out for weeks at a time sometimes, all right? And sometimes your neighbor across the street had power and you didn't have power. That it just works like that sometimes. Sometimes your transformer or your line is just down somewhere and your neighbor's is fine. Literally right across the street. That's how it was for us multiple times. It was strange. Sometimes we'd have power, sometimes they wouldn't, sometimes we wouldn't have power and they would. All right, but it kind of worked out because we could like put our stuff in their fridge. You know, we came together. So that's another thing. Get to know your neighbors now. All right, get to know them now. I'm not like the most chattiest person, all right? But it's good to know your neighbors, who you live near. Good to know who they are in case something goes down, all right? And it's good to let them know, like, hey, I have like a generator, you know, at least like neighbors that you trust. Like, I have a generator if you need it. You need to charge your phone. Or you can use my fridge. I have a generator to keep my fridge going. You can put some stuff in my fridge. You know what I mean? It's good to put that olive branch out there, build those relationships now in these little emergencies, because once the big one hits, you don't want people to be looking at you like a snack or a meal. You know what I mean? Because they know you're prepared. They see your gardens, they see your preps, they see your garage filled with water bottles or whatever you have. You know what I mean? They could start seeing you as a, you know, as a snack, somebody to prey on. So it's best to be proactive on these things. Put the olive branch out. That's also the other part of prepping and being prepared, guys, is prepare enough so you can help other people too. All right, that is so important, because most people are not going to be at the level of preparedness that you are. If you are watching these videos, if you watch Canadian Prepper, Poplar Preparedness, Pinball Prepper, Alaskan Prepper, there's a dozen other ones, great channels. If you watch any of those, you're probably just ahead of the curve, most likely, than most people on being prepared, on just like having things to fall back on in an emergency. So stock up, you know, extra for people in need. All right, a lot of people are struggling right now. They can't afford to even prepare. They can't even afford to get extra. And I know there's people like that too that are listening right now. They're struggling. They can't even afford to buy extra food. So if you can, buy extra for that other person. There's another person watching. If you can buy extra and you're watching, there's another person watching that can't buy extra, and you guys are in the same team, same community. We're all one. We're all in the same team, guys. All right. The point of preparing and prepping and all this stuff is just to keep humanity going. You know, that's why I'm always like, we don't want this. We don't want this to happen. All right. And part of talking about things, all right, at least like geopolitically and politically, part of talking about it kind of stops it from happening, because you expose it and it's more risky for them to do stuff. All right. So it actually helps to talk about things, but you know what I mean? You can't get paralyzed by the talking, but it does help. It does help to slow things down. But I know I'm rambling here, guys, but prepare extra. That's the key to all of this. Let's say a prayer for everyone in Florida. All right, I have a bunch of family in there. I'm worried about them. I hope they're okay. I think they will be. Most of them are in block houses. That's the other thing. If you are in frame built houses, just like all wood frame, then you are at a lot higher risk in Florida with these almost Cat 5 winds. All right, very sketchy. If you are in any of these evacuation zones, remember, guys, they're not going to come save you. So it's up to you. All right, you can make your own decision. You're an adult. You don't have to evacuate. But if you don't, emergency services will not come get you. If you think you will need emergency services, please just evacuate and just get out now if you think you'll need help. But if you're prepared enough and you don't think you'll need any help for the next 48, 72 hours, maybe even longer, 96 hours, then you're good. All right. So let me know what you're doing. Let me know if you are in Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, any of those states, any of those Gulf states that are about to get hit right now. Let me know what you're doing to get prepared. What are you seeing? Are you in South Florida? Over 1 million people have their power out already. Over 1 million people. So thank you guys for watching, and you have a blessed day.